Okay, so I've got it's 7 o'clock. It's Saturday, the 13th of May. Hello, Stephanie. I just let you in. I was just writing you a email, believe it or not. Welcome to the session.
Hi, how are you? Thank you.
Well, I'll get to that in just a second. When I was writing, that just saves me from typing a few more things here. Um, Let me do a quick introduction, and then I'll discuss that with you if you are okay with that.
Sure.
And so we're um, in LDR 300 foundational leadership class, right? And you should be hopefully seeing my screen. Tiffany, welcome. Now, how's that? Can you see my screen?
Yes, it's coming up right now.
Okay, should see the introduction and the cover of the text. Leadership experience, blue.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to talk to the class as a whole here for a second, Stephanie, and then we'll just, like I said, I'll key in on you. I want to welcome everybody. This is your first Zoom session for the next 6 weeks. This is a new dynamic for us. We have not done a 6 week program before, and we are uh, in a unique situation here where in the transition between the 8 week program and the 6 week program, which we're on now, the calendar dates have changed. And in order to make the timing work between some other activities to include graduation, the decision was to start this particular session on a Friday and end it on a Thursday. So we are going to go from obviously Friday, the 12th of May, yesterday, to Thursday, what do I have? 22nd of June, I believe. What did I put up here? Yeah, 22nd of June. So that's going to be a dynamic that we're all going to have to get used to. It's going to be tough for old horses like myself who don't, or old dogs like myself who don't learn new tricks very well. But we'll get through it because it's not that hard, and if we just keep our rhythm, we'll be okay. But what I want to do is just orient you real fast here to the course design and the way Moodle looks. This is a new design as well. This was brought on just a few days ago. So it's, again, taking some of us old hands a minute or two to get used to it. But it's pretty intuitive, and there's no major critical features missing from the old Moodle. And this is where you'll find, obviously, predominantly all the work to be done and all the work that is assigned, and then all the work to be done. In other words, for this particular class, there will not be any other external learning management system used. There may be some in other courses that you've taken or will take at University of Mount Olive, but nothing here. That is to say, all the work is done either by you, turned in as a file upload, and you would do that in this appropriate week. As you can see here in the calendars, there's these tiles, and you have week 1 through 6 tiles. And when you go in there, you will see well, you will see, there we go, some more instructions and then a variety of activities. Okay. First is acceptance of the syllabus. This needs to be done. I'm going to ask you to have that done tonight if you can. At the very least, you have to have it done by tomorrow night because that's when I have to report it. So if you can get this done, it's very simple. Just click into this. And it's a discussion thread, and essentially just cut and paste in there the following statement. And it's I have read, understand, accept the terms of the syllabus. And you must submit gradable work each week to be counted as present in this course. Okay. And then that's followed by your name. In the past, of course, I had the jokesters that paste in my full student name, and that's pretty funny. But anyway, this counts as part of attendance for week one, and would ask that you please do that. If there's any questions on or concerns about the syllabus, then certainly bring that up. But it's fairly straightforward. There's nothing very unusual here. Then we have the discussion forum for week one with 2 questions that need to be addressed. These can be done without the textbook this week, because I always understand first week is I've taught a few times, so I've learned that week one, not everybody has the text. In most cases, through no fault of their own. It is what it is. There's always going to be a glitch. So you can work these without the text. I will caution you, and I will ask you, though, that just to recall that in all other work you send into me, if it's an assignment or it's being graded, there's a reason for it, and that is to see how well you've understood the course material. In the course of that, no pun intended, that includes try to bring in the text as much as you can into your answer. I don't mean regurgitate the text, but if there's a definition in there, bring that in. Or if there's a concept, the DAF text, we learned about the concept of, whatever, path goal theory. And path goal theory says ... and then put your words in there and your response, which is what I'm really grading. That's perfect. Okay. So demonstrating that you pulled something out of the text is important. Again, not so much in this first week, because again, some of you don't have the text. And Stephanie, I haven't forgotten you. I'll get you here in just 1 second. But answer both questions as I've laid out here, and try to make those posts tomorrow. And I used to say do it by midnight, but then people, we'd all get confused as to when midnight. Is that midnight tonight or midnight tomorrow? So 23:59 military time, 11:59 p.m. Eastern Daylight, please, is when I would like to see you make your forum post answering these 2 questions. Then you must show some participation, and that means individually comment on at least a minimum 2 other learners or your fellow students posted, and do that before Tuesday, May 16th, and again by 23:59. Then you have some homework, and that's your Know Yourself summary report. You're going to do a series of exercises. Each week I'll assign a minimum of 2, some 3 exercises to do. Highlighted in blue are the 2 exercises I want you to do, and then do a summary report. Don't show me your work. I don't need to see everything, all the calculations that went in these exercises. Summarize the results, and then explain in your own words what the exercises revealed about you. And that means discuss how the results apply to the information or concepts presented in the text. And then personal reflection. This is the most critical part. Discuss how you'll use the information and concepts presented in each chapter and the results of the exercise in your future, or as now, ability to lead others. And then how it will create value for you in your career. And that can be now or what you anticipate doing in the future. So you're essentially going to do the exercises, understand what it says about you, and then summarize and report that to me in the form of a paragraph. And if you don't agree with the results of the exercise, then certainly talk to that. Okay. But give it a good try. And again, more instructions here in the Moodle. And I want you to try to have those done by Wednesday nights. And you have a quiz. Okay. Each week there will be a quiz. I will post the quiz questions at noon on Sundays. And each quiz for that week will handle the readings of that week. In other words, the quizzes are not cumulative. The week 1 quiz will cover chapters 1 and 2. Week 2 quiz will cover chapters 3, 4, 3 and 4, I guess. Help me out here. Is that your readings for week 2? 3 and 4? I need to go back and look at the syllabus, don't I? Anyway, and then you have until Thursday to get the quiz done. Okay. Now, for those, yeah, so week 2 is chapters 3, 4, and 5. So you have to have read the text in order to take the quiz. And you can, it's open note. So you can use your notes, you can use PowerPoint presentations, you can use the text, the exercises, what we brought up in discussions as part of the quizzes. The one thing I'll ask you not to do is collaborate with other students in taking the quiz. In other words, do your work. Don't share with other students, please. Okay, and then Stephanie, for you and the others, every week I will post the PowerPoint slides for those chapters that are read that week. So at the very bottom of each of these styles, you'll see PowerPoint for week, whatever it is, chapters, whatever they are. And by clicking on that link, you'll see PowerPoint slides are posted. Okay. All right. So I've given you a brief rundown of the dynamic for each week. Now, let me make sure you understand that these weekly discussion these weekly exercises that you are working and turning in as homework, those are all going to build to your final paper that's due in week 6. All right. In week 6, you have a final paper, and that is a paper that's titled Leadership Effectiveness. And there are some very specific aspects of that paper that I need you to address in your paper. Okay. Of course, every paper is going to have an introduction and a concluding paragraph. And then you need to address these points. And I've highlighted them on my screen. You'll find them here in Moodle. You'll find the same information in the syllabus. And I'll remind you each week in a weekly assignment that I post. Weekly, you should have gotten one for week 1. I'm told they automatically email whenever I post 2 announcements, but you would have seen week 1 assignment instructions. Okay. All right. So, Stephanie, what I was going to let you know is thank you for sharing. I would have made the same assumption. I'm stunned, quite frankly, and so I get what happened. So yes, please keep me informed what happens when you make contact on Monday. I'm assuming you're right that as soon as somebody gets in the bookstore, they'll send it. Now, because of that, I'll work with you. Obviously, I don't expect you to do the homework and take the quiz without having read the material. So what I want you to do then is give your best shot on the discussion forum questions. You can do that without the text this time around. And then, obviously do your participation, comment on at least 2 other students. And then once you've gotten your text and you're comfortable having done the reading, and that includes making sure that you're not missing any of the week 2 deadlines. Then we could go back and work when you submit your week 1 homework and take the week 1 quiz. Okay.
Okay, so don't go into week 2. Stay on track with week 2. Hopefully this won't off kilter too much because I don't want to get behind. This
Oh,
is
I know. And,
too fast paced.
yes, it is. And believe me, when I first started teaching here, we were on 5-week programs. So there was no recovery time. If you weren't ready to go, and there was, the same things would happen. Textbook would get lost in the mail, or something would happen, and those are often no fault of the student. And in this case, same thing. If the only way you will fail my course is if you don't turn in the work. Let me qualify that. If you don't turn in your own work, okay. Any work that's turned in, I will I will score out. Okay. And so the idea here is do the work. If there's a reason you cannot, then we'll talk it out. If I don't know what happened and I see that there was something attempted late, I cannot in good faith score that uh, as high as somebody who turned their work in and got it in on time. It's a matter of equity, I think. So the, the University of Mount Olive policy is there is no late work accepted. There is no makeup. Having said that, the dean understands there are exigencies that pop up from time to time. And so if there's a reason that it was late, um, reasons in the past were a hurricane. A few months ago, you all may remember when some idiots shot out the power substations up in Moore County, and that knocked everybody's internet off, of course, because they had no electricity. There's a hospitalization, there's an injury, something of that nature. Then we'll talk it out. And if there's a good reason for it, then yes, I will authorize turning in late work, and I will not penalize that. Otherwise, my job is to get you through this. So it does us no good to not accept missed work if there's a decent reason for it. If we haven't talked and everybody's tracking and there's still work that gets turned in, I will assess a penalty to it. It's very rare that I will outright refuse any work that's turned in. Okay, but again, just be aware that it is a quick course. Work needs to be done, and I'm going to ask that you all attend to it as best you can. I mean, everybody understands the offshoots will happen. Hey, you're cruising along and you forget a deadline. Got it. Let's talk it out, and then take it from there. And if it's a case where we just misread the calendar, then yeah, that may cost you a couple points. I'll take a small percentage off for a penalty, but otherwise, let's get our work in on time and get from there. So yes, Stephanie, you understand what I was getting at, and that is, do the best you can on getting your text. Don't stress it too much, although I'm sure you probably already have, and because you're a conscientious student, I'm sure. And so do the best you can on it, and then the big thing is let's not fall behind, and then we can address that which you've missed or need to make up. Okay.
Okay, great. Thank you.
And that will be in your particular case, since the text not getting to you in time is not something I can hang on you penalty wise. we'll I'll let you remake that work without penalty, obviously.
Thank you.
Okay, so before I go on and cover some more material here, let me ask if if Tiffany, you or Cynthia have anything, any hard questions that you want to ask me before I go on.
I have a question, it's Tiffany. And it's not, I don't know if it's a hard one, but can you reiterate what day you said you would be opening the quizzes?
Sure. Quiz questions will open at noon on Sunday.
Okay, because this week
And
shows Monday.
um,
Not trying to be difficult. I
no,
just, as
no.
somebody who works away, not close to home, Monday through Wednesday is pretty tough to me, for me to get any
Yeah,
time in the
but
evening to do anything. So I prefer to do them on Sundays if they're open. So,
no, you caught me here. Hold on here just a second. Yeah, it was supposed to be Sunday. Oh, yeah.
oh, it says Sunday, May 14th on that, but it does say, okay, wait a minute.
Yeah, let me go into my
I
settings.
swear I saw somewhere that said Monday, the 14th, but I didn't look at the date. So that might have been my error. I apologize.
No apology, because I would tell you that in I may have put it in wrong in the announcements. Let's take a look at that real fast.
No, it
Because
says Sunday. I imagined it, I guess. I don't know. I just
okay.
so
Well,
see, it
no,
wasn't.
listen, I want you
I was
to
just
always
testing you.
yeah, please do. Hey, no, and I'm serious. Listen, so this is one of the points I'll share with all the students here too is um we learn from each other. I'm going to get more out of you all than you are going to get out of me through this course. I'll be honest with you. And the way this works is that if we disagree, hey, that's perfectly fine. That's what it's about. Hey, everybody will look at a situation, and we will all agree that something needs to be done. And my prescription for that as a leader for that situation may be completely different than yours. And that's not to say one person's right and the other's wrong. That's the beauty of contingency leadership is that, we all assess things in our own way and look for how we're going to remedy those situations. So uh, if I have done this wrong, please catch me on it. And uh, I can't buy you a beer for catching my error, but I will at least give you my appreciation. How's that?
That works. And I appreciate your grace. Thank you.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about. It's and then have that quiz done by Thursday at 23:59. So noon on Sunday to 23:59 on Thursday gives us the better part of what is that? 4 days? 1, 2, 3, yeah, 4 days, and that should uh, be enough time. And but the key on it is, and the quizzes are not tricky. They're not hard in the sense that I'm writing something that really is non-answerable. They're straightforward. I don't try to trick you on them. I will say they are timed. You will get, I think I've got it set mostly for 1 hour. You have an hour to take the quiz, and that should be sufficient time. And you have one shot at it. Okay. So when you take the quiz, try to take it where you're not going to be interrupted for that hour. And remember, when the quiz closes, it closes. So if you wait until Thursday at 23:50, you're going to have 9 minutes to do the quiz. It's going to close. You're not going to get an hour. So, on the suspense times, back that off an hour. Does that make sense? What I just said?
Yes.
It
Okay.
does.
And so it's not hard if you've done the reading. Okay. And like I said, you can use your notes and the text. Just don't use your fellow student. And you'll be fine. Now, if 2/3 of the class misses a question on a quiz, the same question, I will go back and look at the question and see if I have screwed that up. Okay. I'm not saying I'm going to change it. I'm not saying that everybody gets a free pass. It's just sometimes, we as instructors don't communicate as well as we think. So I always take a look at the quiz, and all the, like I said, the quiz questions are straightforward, and you should have enough time if you've done the reading. Now, if you haven't done the reading and the first time you crack open the book is when that quiz time starts, and then you try to find all the answers, no, you're not going to have enough time. It's not going to work. So that's kind of the method behind the madness. Okay.
Is there a standard format for the quizzes? Are they multiple choice? Are they written response?
Yeah, there's no written response. There is no set format, although you will find most are. Let's take a look here. I'm not going to show you on my screen, obviously, but I'm looking at my notes. Predominantly even up on each chapter. So there will be an equal number of questions per chapter, roughly. And there's, true, false, and there's not multiple choice. I call it best answer, but it's multiple choice. I say best answer because that's really the better way to describe it. Usually, you never find the perfect answer in a multiple choice, but try to find the best answer, and that's in there. And then no, there's no essay, there's no fill in the blank, there's no I don't know what other formats are there. Match column A to column B. I don't know what I can. I just went down a thought pattern. I didn't fully realize what I was doing. So
Did you say how many questions, or will it vary each week?
it'll vary
Depending
each
on
week
the
because of the
chapters?
number of chapters. Yep,
Right.
right on, right on. I can tell you it'll be more than 5, and it will be fewer than 40. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, so my son's in college, and some of his exams or his tests are, he'll have 60 questions in 60 minutes, and there's no time to think sometimes on those.
Yeah, that seems a little bit much, I think. It's you try to find the balance between making it a challenge and making it worth your time, but having some realism in there. I mean, 60 minutes, 60 questions sounds a little bit extreme. And it's not a test of how well you take the test. That's the other thing that I always try to ensure in my quizzes. In other words, not everybody is good at taking tests. So you try to find that balance. The purpose of the quiz is to see if you've read the material. I mean, that's the whole purpose. And so I'm going to ask you questions that come out of the text. And if you read the material, if you do your study, if you have those PowerPoint slides or your notes, and you've done the exercises, you will be fine. I cannot imagine you would have any problems. Oh, I just got my 10-minute warning. I'm on a timeline here for this Zoom session. So if we get cut off here in 10 minutes, it's because Zoom only gives me a few minutes and not because I was being rude. Okay. So again, ladies, thanks for joining me.
And these sessions are every Saturday?
Right. These are scheduled every Saturday. They are not mandatory. This is your time. This is up to you all. And I record these. So if I don't get anybody participating, which believe it or not, this has been a good night. I normally don't get 3 on the very first night. And so thank you. But I do post them onto Moodle. You will see them underneath the link. Okay. So you saw Zoom session information, which is hopefully you were able to link in from there. Underneath that is the Zoom sessions and video files. And so the session for that week and all the weeks will be posted here, and they'll link into YouTube so you can go in and view them at your leisure. The purpose of this is to give you a little extra contact with me. If you need to have a question answered or have an issue, then we have all sorts of other venues too. Contact me via email, preferably. You'll get a response within the day. If it's an emergency, certainly text or call, and in the contact information I've given you my cell phone number. I'll try to give you as quick of a response as I can. Give me at least a couple hours to try to respond. Now, if you text or call me at 3 a.m, I may not get to you in a couple hours, and I'll be a little cranky, but I will still respond. And then there is a forum underneath where you did introduce yourselves. There's an ask for help forum. So, put something in there and I will check that. Again, that's a non-emergency. That's, expect, maybe a day response time. But it also, you may be asking a question the other fellow students need the answer to as well. And that's why that forum is there. And so then if we need to, through all of that, schedule a one-on-one where we're doing time, I don't know, with you, Cynthia, or with any of the other ladies or anybody else, one-on-one with me via Zoom, or Skype or Teams, or whatever you're more comfortable with. Since COVID, I think we've all gotten better at all those. There was one else out there. I can't remember. Teams, Zoom, Skype. What was the last one?
Well,
There was
maybe Slack.
Yes, and it was something like that, or Signal, or anyway, yeah. So if it's an obscure one, I may not be up on it, but we'll certainly carve out the time. And so it's like having office hours. I don't have an office near you. I don't think. I work on board the Marine Corps base here at Camp Lejeune, so we'll have to do it virtually, but that's part of online. So, but I'll certainly spend the time that you need. Okay. Again, purpose for me being here is to get you through it. Just remember, if this was easy, everybody would do it. I understand you have full-time lives, you've got families, jobs, you've got occupations, you got demands on your time, and I get it. I understand. Let me put it that way. And so we'll get through it. And oh, by the way, if we're not having some fun doing it, then something's wrong. So part of this ought to be fun. Okay.
I just have a question about the Zoom itself. So
Yeah.
just for clarification, it is at 7 o'clock each Saturday and not at 4 o'clock, because it's 2 different times on the link.
Oh boy. Okay. So you got a mistake of mine. Let me take a look here.
Mine was set at 4, which was general, whatever was it GMT time?
yes.
I
Yeah.
had to change mine, and once I changed it, it changed to Eastern Standard Time and showed 7. So I don't know
Okay.
if it's how it's set up.
Where did you change that at?
Oh,
Right
now
where
you're-
settings is, right there, settings.
maybe.
Okay. Yeah, mine did that too. And then I saw in his email or in the text of the Moodle, it said 7. So I thought it was just the mountain Pacific or whatever.
Yeah, somehow it was set up that way, and but I'm
Yeah.
not-
Zoom
I'm not
defaults
sure.
to Zulu time. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's Greenwich Mean. We're so many are, well, no, that doesn't make sense, does it? If it was 4, then yeah, that would be Mountain Time. That's weird. Okay. Well, thank you for
I may
catching
have
that.
changed it in, yeah, I don't know if I changed it in Zoom or where I changed it, because I was confused when I went into the link, just like Cynthia was, because it had said 7, but then it looked like it was 4 o'clock when I went to log in. I thought I had missed it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So,
Okay. Well, thank you for
and I
bringing
don't
that
know if
up.
it's
I
gonna
didn't even
change-
realize.
I don't know if it's going to change permanently or if it's going to change, if I have to change it every time. I can message you. I can try to go back in and look and see where it was. And then if you want to send something out to the class, I don't mind looking after. I'm afraid to close any browsers because my laptop I'm not friends with my laptop. I got a new one and it was I didn't realize Zoom wasn't set up yet, so I was late and I don't like to be late.
Well, you're fine. Again, this is not mandatory, so that's perfect. And yeah, please, I appreciate that because it didn't show up that way, and it may have been just for mine, the way I'm set up. And but I'm always cognizant. That's part of the trouble is I always want to see what the student sees, and sometimes it doesn't work that way on how our
Yeah, it still shows
issues are.
4. I can send a screenshot.
And then let me ask you if you can just post that in that ask for help form.
Okay.
That would be helpful, and then that way everybody will get a chance to see it.
Okay.
And I'll certainly mention you in dispatches. So in the old military, instead of getting an award, a medal, you would have your name mentioned in a letter that the commander wrote to the president. That was called being mentioned in dispatches. So I'll certainly mention you in dispatches. How's that? Not that I write the president very often.
Do you have any thoughts on working ahead? Are we able to work ahead at all?
Yes, on some things. You will not be able to work ahead like on too far,
Quizzes, obviously,
like
you
on the
can't, but-
quizzes, because I open them at a certain time.
Right.
Yeah, but I can if you need to. So if you have an upcoming event, or like a deployment or something like that we need to accommodate, then yes, let's talk one-on-one.
Okay.
You will see that I've already posted all the forum discussion questions, and I have posted the exercises that are required each week. So there is nothing stopping you from working those right now. In fact, you can turn in your paper tomorrow night if you want to. I
It
don't
won't be all of
recommend
that, but I do have an event that's kind
it.
of in the middle of the pack and I'm going to be, uh, I'm not going to have a laptop or access to it for like about a 5-day period. So it's going to fall in the middle of when things are going on, I think.
All right, perfect. I'm glad you brought that up. No, thank you very much. Yes, I will certainly work with you on that. Just give me your, okay, I'm going to get cut off here in just a minute. So let me say it real quick here. Communicate that to me on when you want to do a certain piece of homework and what you want to do ahead of time and when you think you'll have it ready. And I'll go in and adjust Moodle so that you can upload it or take the quiz. Okay.
Perfect. All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you bringing it up. I mean, this is perfect. It's works so much better when we talk about it up front instead of trying to figure it out on the back end. So, oh, somebody's throwing me a curveball. You want to chat? Okay, hold on. Okay, Stephanie, very good. I like it. Yeah. So since I'm going to get cut off here, let me tell you, thank you very much for joining me again. I'll post these on the